And this hot weather has boaters wanting to pull their boats out and hit that water. But before you do, there are some things that you should check out before enjoying those open waters. Now here at 12 News, we want to make sure that you're boating safely. 12 News reporter Amelia White spoke with the U.S. Coast Guard to get a list of things to check on. She's live in studio with more.
Letitia, boating safety boils down to knowing the hazard spots when on the water, but you also want to make sure you have the proper tools on board.
This time of year is peak season for recreational boating, but it's also a time where boating accidents rise.
You have an uptick in the summertime, right when it starts to get hot and people want to get out and get their boats underway.
Brian Unwin Eblink is with the U.S. Coast Guard Marine Safety Unit in Port Arthur. He says a common issue is not checking your boat properly after storing it during the winter months.
So they haven't really checked on their engine, they haven't replaced their fire extinguisher, they haven't gotten the mold and the mildew off their life jackets and checked the straps to make sure that they're good.
Brian says they see anywhere from 20 to 50 search and rescue cases a year. Before you push off, it's important to make sure you have emergency tools on board.
You got to have a sound producing device. It could be a whistle, it could be a horn of some kind. It's basically there to get another person's attention. Well, a handheld radio is super important. Channel 16 is your international hailing and distress channel.
Another tool to add to your list, personal locator beacons. It's a small device that sends a signal to a shore-based station in case of an emergency.
I'll always talk about a float plan. It's very highly recommended to file a float plan with a family member or a friend.
Brian says a float plan helps the Coast Guard locate an overdue boater. On this plan, you want to include your full name, boat description, time of departure, destination, and the time you're planning to return.
Send the plan to a family member or a friend that they know that can contact the Coast Guard or the local authorities in the event that they don't return when they're supposed to.
Brian says knowing these helpful tips can potentially save a life.
Brian says it's important to be mindful of boating after a hurricane. Typically, infrastructure is damaged after a hurricane, which could put a boater in harm's way. Amelia White, 12 News.